Hello, it's Heather with another update on my mold detox. Today is Sunday, April 10 of 2022. Um, I have been trying to make a follow-up video to the one I had just posted recently, and kind of everything has been moving fast, but it's also not moving at all. So there's this weird uh, paradox happening right now, and I keep trying to make a video and it keeps coming out wrong. So I've distilled it on a little post-it here into 6 things that I want to sort of make sure I make a video about, and then also just a brief update. So the update is I got my labs back for Marcons, and last fall I had 6 resistant strains in my sinuses, and now I only have 2. So that's progress, but it's not over, and I'm gonna have to go back to nebulizing. Sad face. But it is what it is. The other thing is the clinic and I have had some miscommunications. I've been feeling terrible for a long time now, and like baseline way worse. And we clearly need to make adjustments, some significant adjustments, and I need some guidance on where it's best to do that. But anyway, long and short is it involved me doing 3 more labs, which I got done this last week, and moving my doctor's appointment to a little bit later this month to give us time for him to get the results of those tests. So it all resolved, but the piece that I am aware of is that my coach really botched this one, and I'm not inclined to keep doing something that didn't work. And that for right now, that what that means is I'm not really inclined to keep working with her. If they have a different coach, that's great. And if not, I will probably make some adjustments to my membership status with them so that I have some funds available to divert to the kind of coach that I think I need for the phase of healing that I'm in. So I can say more about that later, but that's the basic update. Of course, symptomatically, I'm maybe a little more functional, but still just feel like I don't have any foundation, like in any moment it can go. So it's hard to trust myself to make plans or do anything, and I get really overwhelmed when I do have plans that require preparation or being, amped up and ready to go. So it's been, I'm tired. I'm just really, really tired. So here are the 6 things that I want to highlight. The first is what I know is at this point, anytime I feel like I'm not feeling well, I need to get help. So at any point where, and be aggressive about it, right? Like my instinct is to always solve problems, take action. I have a really, in Chinese energy modality, I'm very yang. When I'm well, I have a lot of masculine energy. And when I'm not well, I'm forced to sort of sit around and it's so frustrating. I mean, I want to be able to lounge about and be super lazy. Like I love that and be in the moment, but I don't want to be there because I can't do anything. I want to be there by choice. So get help is the first point. And for me, that was hiring a virtual assistant, just saying like, this is what I need, this is what I can't do, this is what I need help with. I am going to hire help. And I'm going to do that a lot more over the next, over the rest of this year, is just to hire help and to work on the things that I need to attend to and to like just delegate out the rest. And my virtual assistant, she kind of rocked it. She was able to get everything done in less than the amount of time that I thought I needed to hire her for. So it turned out being not nearly as expensive as I thought it was going to be. And I have a short list of places that I know I qualify for grant money. So I just have to wait for the schedules to open up and I can apply. So like that's fantastic progress. The second point is attend to all aspects of myself in this healing process. When it's not just a pill and it's not just my body, like you can't just go on some kind of pill cycle or schedule and expect to get well. for something that's this chronic and this deeply embedded, I think it can make a huge difference. Like, for example, I ran out of my soil-based probiotic, and I didn't have it for about 5 days. Boy, did I notice a difference. Like, it was real clear that a probiotic is helpful for me. I mean, I was cramping. It was terrible. So now I know the probiotic is working, and it's important for me to have that. But it's not just a pill in general. And what I was able to do with my tax refund money is, and because I was feeling badly, is in New York, I called one of my coaches who also does energy work, and she and I worked together at one point. And then I called another person that I work with who also does coaching and energy work, has sort of a different slant on some things. And I was able to work with her, felt tons better. And, realized, like, even though I probably need some more tweaking on nutrition, which is what my coach at the clinic does, that's not really what I need right now. I feel like I could get my body to a certain point, and it's just going to get dragged down and dragged down and dragged down by a lot of emotional processing that I'm not doing. I'm not aware of I'm not aware of things that are happening. I'm not letting them get moved through my system, or they're coming up for the first time after being sort of pushed down for a really long time. And I think this process of leaving Pittsburgh is maybe pushing that out a little bit faster than I would imagine, but it's like sort of like at some point you got to rip off the Band-Aid. And this town for me, for no joke, 7 years, has been, kind of one heartbreak after another. And that's a significant portion of my life, to feel that that busted up by trying to live. So, and part of that's my attitude, and part of that is just like, I've had some really sucky things happen while I've been here. So, attending to my energy and to my emotional reality and healing those things, which I think my doctor would be on board with, is going to be really critical for me, especially as I'm starting to really move some of this stuff out. Okay, so it's not just a pill. Number 3, do what you love, even if you can only do it for like 5 minutes. So for me, that was finding a room that's private, away from my apartment, that had an acoustic piano, little baby grand, and playing for an hour. And it didn't cost very much. It was so nice to be able to go somewhere and just feel free to express myself, and to interact with an instrument. It's not a computer, it's not a phone, it's not a screen. It was just me and this thing made out of wood and wire, and ivory. It was just beautiful. I couldn't believe how much better I felt. Like everything, like I had less pain in my body. I felt mentally more sharp, emotionally much calmer. Like just all of it. It was just, music is amazing. And I've known that, and music has always been therapeutic for me. So it makes a lot of sense for me to start like sort of, kind of creeping back towards that. Even though there's a lot of baggage that I have to process, like just allowing myself to get into those situations. So wherever I move to next, because I'm not sure this kind of thing exists in Pittsburgh, find a practice room and just dedicate my time. And the one thing that's important about doing that for me is that it's not a keyboard sitting in the corner of my bedroom, always reminding me of the thing that I can't do anymore. It's in its own dedicated space away from my apartment, that I go to and put it in my calendar. I think those kinds of little details are actually really important. So if I were to say, want to pick up watercolor painting again, which is something I love, or gardening, which is something I love, I would put it in my calendar, or I would take a class, or do something that provides me with a little bit of accountability and structure, and gets me away from my apartment, particularly because my apartment has some mold in it. I think it's useful for me to be away from this place as much as possible when I have that option. So, but just feeling like I'm doing something that I have a unique gift in, made a huge difference in my outlook on everything. And I need those like perspective shifts. So that's number 3. This is already way too long. All right, crap. 4, Is it a negative reaction or is it herxing? I thought that I was herxing. I could have also had a spring infection. My chiropractor thinks I had some sort of subvariant of COVID again. Um, and my clinic also thought, oh, you probably have COVID. And that's kind of think why they just sort of checked out. Um, I think that aside, um, I think I wasn't actually herxing. I think I was having a negative reaction. In fact, so like that last Wednesday, and it's the ironic thing is that this is what I do for my remote day job at this point, which is advise customers. I work for a functional medicine institute. Advise customers who use our products if they have some kind of like negative reaction, if it's happening in the first couple of days of using the product, it might just be some kind of die-off or your body adjusting and it goes away within like 5 days. If it continues, it's possible that that product's not right for you or right for you at that time or at that dose, and you quit and you wait a couple days and see if the symptoms that were giving you trouble like calm down. And then if they do, that's what it was. And then you have the option of like reintroducing it at a slower or lower dose and finding where that threshold is of how you respond, right? This did not occur to me to like turn that information on myself for this process until last week on Wednesday, like more than like 5 weeks into this. I talked to my chiropractor who does do muscle testing as part of his practice. And he was like, yeah, I'm taking sort of 3 things. Two are sort of these herbal blends. And then one is just one tincture that's an herb. And he's like, there's this one of your herbal blends, you need to stop. And I'm like, well, I can't go cold turkey. My doctor was like, say, taper off. He's like, well, go to your lowest dose. So I went to the lowest dose. I have instantly, like the neck pain is gone. And the lower back pain is also staying fairly resolved. I still feel really swampy in my head. But I mean, that would sort of indicate that I wasn't having a herxing response. I was actually, this is not a detox response. It's like, I shouldn't be taking this thing. So I sent him the list. I sent him the label. I texted it to him and he was like, I don't know what any of these things are, but there's this one ingredient in there that I'm getting a big no for you. So it's not everything in there. So if I could take some of those things, but not all of them, I would have probably had a different reaction. So those are the kinds of things that you sort of have to, I don't know. It may not be herxing. And even if it is herxing, like that's not the goal. Like the goal is to do it gently enough that your body can keep pace with what's happening. You have to work with your body. So it may, and in some cases, it's actually a negative reaction. I think that's what's happening for me. So I look forward to talking to my doctor about that. The 5th thing is to try stuff. So adjust your doses if you can. Do the extra support things that support all of you. In my case, I'm still working through my process of like, where am I going to live? And I have a couple of places on my short list, and I have some applications in for some places where I may get on a wait list for a year or 2. So they're not short-term solutions. And I have some applications out for some pet sitting for this summer that will get me out of this apartment for a couple of months. Again, those aren't guarantees because I'm up against, a bunch of other applicants. But so one of the coaches that I worked with, she's like, why don't you just do something like astrocartography? She's like, I got a good feeling about that for you. So, and she's like, you need more energetic support than what you're getting. And there's a lot of energy. I mean, like the thing that I'm working on right now is energy. So do that. So I'm going to do that this week and I'll keep you posted on what that brings up. And then the 5th thing is to manage your ignorance and to find community. In some ways, like some of this is like sort of terrifying. So you don't want to like just go, I mean, for me, I don't want to just go all in and learn everything and just be overwhelmed without a way to process it. But I have gone on Instagram and found people that I like, that I'm following, that's in this world, that's helping me feel a little bit more reassured and feel more stable emotionally. And I think I may have found a coach as well. So those are my tips, and this is my update, and I will post later when I have more information. Okay.